so today I'm here to do another book review, and you know what's exciting? This is the last one in my list that I've got to do. Like, there's no more book reviews that I want to make for the books that I've read up until this point, and I feel great about that. Like, I finally caught up. Like, it took me like about probably like 2.5 weeks to catch up with all my book reviews, but I'm very excited that I'm doing the last one for the moment so I can actually like chill for a bit. The book that I will be reviewing today is Heartless by Marissa Meyer, and you can't even see it with this glare. Just hold it like this, no, like this, like that. I am very excited to talk about this book. It was a great read. Like, the minute I got my hands on it, I really wanted to read it because it was the book of the month for the Biblio squad. I have like 4 book clubs that I'm in, and I'm sometimes like, which one is it? But for the Biblio squad, and I was very excited to read this. It was a very fun read. I really enjoyed it, and just like going back to the roots of the Alice in Wonderland story was amazing. And you know, the bad thing about this book though is it has made me obsessed with Alice in Wonderland again. I watched the movie. I started watching the Once Upon a Time TV show again. I kind of want to get the Disney animated film. Like, I've just been obsessed with it, and I just want Alice in Wonderland retellings in my life. I need them so I can like keep reading them, but I don't think they're going to be as good as Heartless, because Heartless was just amazing. This is what happens, right? You read something so amazing and then you go and look for more, and then just nothing is as good as it. I do have Queen of Hearts, which is another Alice in Wonderland retelling by, I don't know which, just had a look, and it's by Colleen Oakes, and I think I will read that probably at some point. I have like a lot going at the moment because like there's 14 books I want to read by the end of the year, and I will like, you know, try and do that. But after that, once it's in the new year, I can just do whatever I want. Maybe. But anyway, let's get back onto Heartless, and I really want to talk about this, and I'm also going to warn you guys now there will be spoilers in this video because there's some things that happen in this book that killed me that like I need to rant about. So if you haven't read this lovely book, you probably should go away now, or, you know, go away now then come back once you have read it, but just don't keep watching if you don't want to get spoiled. So Heartless is a retelling of the Queen of Hearts story, and it's more of a backstory into why she becomes who she is, and why she becomes evil, and why she becomes the Queen of Hearts, and what decisions and events occur that turn her into the person that she is today, and as we know her as the villain. And seriously, I just thought that idea was so awesome. Like, when I saw the book at BEA at like the beginning of the year and everyone was talking about it, I was just like, I really do want to check this book out. And then it came in my YA Chronicles box, and I was just like, yes, so down for this. And I was so happy to read it because I've recently read Cinder, Scarlet and Cress. I haven't read Winter yet, but I've recently read those books and I really like the writing, so I was happy to go back to Marissa Meyer to read another one of her books, and I was really excited. I think she's just a great writer, and she just, the way she incorporates these like retellings, like she starts with a base story and she just makes it her own. Like, that's a lot of the time that what happens is like you don't just want a book that just tells the exact same story and the character is a bit different. Like, she has the elements in there, but it really was its own story, and it was so good, man. I loved it so much. Like, one of my favorite things I think I've read this year. Now, just saying, going into this book, I knew that it was going to be, you know, a book where everything just turned to shit at the end. Obviously, the Red Queen isn't going to have a happy ending, and she might be good in the beginning, and then everything's going to go bad for her. And that was like a little bit of a dreading for me to read this book, because I was like, I'm gonna get connected to everything and everyone, and then it's gonna turn to shit, and I'm gonna cry, and I'm gonna die. It's not okay, because some things in this book just killed me. But I have to say though that even though I went into the book braced for this like end going to shit, I fell in love with Catherine. Like, she is such an amazing character, and she's so complex, and I just loved her so much in this book. She just started out in this book being the daughter of a Mariness. Is it Marquis? Mariness, I think, is a woman, and Marquis is a man, but she's like the daughter of like a lord pretty much. And she, you know, she has the high life, she goes to parties, she's always being around. She's actually favoured by the Queen of Hearts, and he kind of wants to marry her, but she's got a really good life. But Catherine's always dreamed of wanting to open a bakery because she's a really good cook, and she bakes a lot of different cakes and everyone loves it. But she's so scared to ask her parents because in this world, you know, women don't really have property. They don't do anything besides get married and have children. So her family totally not supportive. Her family's horrible in this book. I think they're just so unsupportive and like ruin everything for her like all the time. But and like Catherine wanted to open it with her like maid, who becomes her like, She used to be like the scullery maid, and then she became like her lady's maid. That's it. Looking for the word. She becomes her lady's maid, and they're like best friends, and they're going to open it together. And like, I get this very like, you know, Mary, Anna from Downton Abbey vibe with their like relationship. And I really did like that, you know, Catherine wasn't like, she didn't look down on her because she was a slave. Like, slave, because she did work for her. But I just, oh my god, I was just so excited. I was just like, she's gonna open a bakery and she's gonna bake and do everything and she won't get married. And then I was just, because I was getting so like connected with her that I didn't want all this bad stuff to happen. So when everything was going to like crap at the end, I'm just like, no, this is so mean. Why is this happening? I don't want it to happen. It's like the most heartbreaking thing ever. But just saying, even though Catherine did start out good, what I really liked about her character is you could see the darkness in her. Like, just sometimes the way she would treat people, or like the things she would think, like throughout the book, she sometimes just had these like impulse thoughts of like off with their head. And I was just like, it's happening. It's developing. Like, she just had these moments when she just could think of killing someone and ripping their heart out. And then she'd be like, no, that's wrong. And why am I thinking that? I just couldn't get over how much I could see that. Like, it was definitely that decision to be good or bad, and ultimately she chose to be bad. And, you know, she didn't make the right decision, but I understand why she did what she did. But I was just like, Catherine, I just think you're so complex and amazing, and I love you. And just saying, we got to get to my other favourite character, and that is Jest. He was amazing and so awesome, and I just wanted their romance to happen and be all together and everything, and then he had to die in the end, and I was just like, ugh. I hate it when they kill the love interest. It's like the worst possible thing you can do to me, because it kills me. I thought it was great that like Catherine fell in love with this Joker who was so magical, and just the way he like held himself and presented himself to everyone, and just like, he had such cool magic and be able to play these tricks, and he just would be able to awe the audiences. And like, he was like Joker for the king, so she always saw him, and like, she was just like, Catherine and him were just drawn together, and I was just like, yes, make this happen. Just saying, something that pissed me off with their relationship, right, is on the back of the book, it says like, it's all about Catherine in the bakery, and then she's all like, she meets Jess, and then they start a secret courtship, right? And I was thinking this was going to happen early on, and it was going to be really secret, and they'll be meeting each other all the time. But like, legit, first like 3/4 of the book, they don't, like, she feels for him, he feels for her, but they don't do anything. And then suddenly they kiss once, and then everything goes down, and then they kiss again, and then he's dead. And I'm just like, synopsis is lying to me. I was waiting for this like awe-inspiring, amazing romance. Like, it only had just been accepted, and then finally they were together for like a minute, and then everything went to shit and it got ruined, and I was just like, I was here for that, and it just didn't happen. What the hell? So that also disappointed me, and it made me like a bit upset too that they had to actually like kill Jess off. Like, I mean, I felt like it was gonna happen, but I thought it was gonna be more of a like, she just said, no, you have to leave, and she would go pick the king and then do everything. But like, obviously you gotta have some heartbreak for the character that's gonna end up being this villain, and have like, I gotta get revenge on everything that's ever done wrong to me. And you know what else I liked about Jest is that he was actually like a rook from chess. He was working for the White Queen, and I'm just like, yo, represent the White Queen. And then he was also sent to go get the heart of the Queen of Hearts, and then he was all like, she was all freaking out, everyone's freaking out, and I was like, wow, I didn't see this coming, him being like a villain, but not really, because like, he's actually the good guy and Catherine's a villain. Like, it's very confusing having these backstories, because you're just kind of like rooting for your main character, and then it's like, no, the other side's actually the good side, and your main character's actually the bad one, and just, it got confusing sometimes, but I still really enjoyed it. And you know what else too with this book is I really loved the elements from the original Alice in Wonderland story. Like, the Cheshire Cat was like Catherine's best friend, and they were always talking, having a lot of fun, and like, that's really reflective of when the Cheshire Cat meets Alice, that he had this relationship with the White Queen, and he knows her, but he doesn't really delve into it much, and just like stuff like that. And like, having the Mad Hatter there, and like, we just call him Hatter though because he hasn't actually gone mad yet, and because of Catherine's decisions in the end of the book, that's why he becomes mad. And then like, he used to know the answer to the riddle for why a raven's like a writing desk, and then he totally forgot, so when he tells Alice, she doesn't know. And like, having the hair and the dormouse and just the different areas, and just, oh, it was just so cool that this was incorporated so well into this book. Like Marissa and I really did her research, and I was just like, yes, this is just perfect. And also what was great, right, in this is the Jabberwocky's the big villain in the book, and I was just like, yes, bring the Jabberwocky in, and like how, well, more it's like because there's a Peter Pan in this book, and I'm just like, this is weird, because it's Alice in Wonderland and there's Peter Pan, but he's like pretty much the main villain, and his wife was actually the Jabberwocky, which I kind of guessed at. I was just like, she had this weird obsession with like pumpkin and stuff, and she was always kind of being a bit weird, and I'm just like, you're totally the Jabberwocky, and it was true, and it was really like sad, right, because Marianne sort of figured it out, and Catherine's off with Jess going to chess. Is it Jess and Chess? Your name shouldn't rhyme, but she was going, and then she saw that Marianne had been captured, and then because there's this scene where like Catherine and Hannah and Jess go and meet the Sisters of Time, I think it is, the three sisters of fate. I never know like the names of all these things. I feel so bad. They go there and they actually have like this premonition that Jess is going to die, the Mad Hatter's going to go mad, someone's going to get martyred, and then a friend's going to sit on the throne, and then Catherine's like, gotta go save my friend. So she goes to Marianne, and then all this plays out. And this is why everything happens, because Catherine kills the Jabberwocky, and then Peter Pan kills Jess, and then seriously there was such a sad scene at the end where Marianne's like talking to Catherine, because their friendship's just done like after a while, because like Marianne kept telling everyone everything, like telling her parents what was up and then telling everyone else what's up, and then I would be pissed too that she's telling all your secrets. But then like at the end, right, Catherine just thinking that if I didn't save you, Jess would still be alive, and I would rather have him than you. And I was just like, oh. And then she's all like, I bet you this other lady would have you as a maid, because Marianne's like, you haven't actually asked me to stay, and Catherine's like, well, I don't want you. And I'm just like, oh. I just found that like relationship shift so crazy, and also like with Catherine and parents, how they're always pushing her to marry the king because the king wants to marry her, and then I'm just like, don't marry the king. Like, I think he was a cool guy, but he was very like, he was always jolly, which was good for a king, and happy, but he was never really trying to fight or help people or do anything, and he's always like scared of everything, and he's not like, he doesn't have a lot of guts. And like at the end with Catherine, how she like gets Peter Pan and gets him executed in exchange for her heart, and then she's all like, oh, with their hands, and the king's like, we don't execute, and she's like, I don't care what you do, it's what we're doing. And I was just like, she's the villain now. Like seriously, such a good villainous backstory, and everything was just like amazing, and I loved it. I loved it. I just have such an like inclusive amount of thoughts with this book, because I'll go from like boop, 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 boop. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, I hope you like my review, and I hope, you know, you all really enjoyed this book as much as I did, because it was just amazing and I loved it so much. But anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.